Hello everyone and welcome. Today is a big day and a good video because man, myth, and the legend Sunday himself is finally upon us. No introduction is needed for him, so let's jump straight to the good stuff. This is a kit review and explanation, so no actual guide for now, but I will be making one around his third or fourth version, so subscribe to not miss out on that. Anyways, let's jump to his kit. Most of the multipliers and percentages in his kit will definitely be changed at some point since this is his first version. So most of the things I mentioned in percentages and multipliers are definitely gonna change, and most of them of course are level 1. I'll be skipping over the basic attack and we'll be going over to the skill. The skill allows the targeted ally to take insta action forward and gain a damage increase. If the targeted ally is a summoner, they gain an additional damage increase for 2 turns. And obviously to avoid any infinite looping insta action forwards with Bronya or Sparkle for example, Harmony units cannot take the insta advance forward. Sunday's advance forward also applies to the summon of the summoners, so for example Numbi from Topaz or Thunderlord from Jingyuan for example. What makes this advance forward for the summons really good is that the summons will take priority in playing first, so for example Numbi is going to play first and then Topaz is going to play second, meaning you can maximize your damage from Topaz and Numbi at the same time, or Jingyuan and Thunderlord. His talent is one of the shorter talents that I've seen honestly, and it gives the skill an extra ability to give you more crit rate for 2 turns. For his technique, after you use it, in the next battle all allies will have their damage increased by 50% for 2 turns. Simple enough, and 50% is a big amount, similar to Robin or Ranmei. Lastly, for his ultimate, it regens a part of max energy for an ally he targets, and he gives them a new buff. It also increases the crit damage of the ally by a specific amount, and it scales off of a fixed crit rate and Sunday's crit rate, just like Sparkle and Bronya. The new effect is called the Beatified, if that's how you pronounce it. The Beatified loses duration every Sunday turn by 1, and it lasts for 3 total turns. A little note for the ultimate, it is only affected on the latest ulted person, so it cannot stack on multiple targets. And of course, if Sunday dies during the battle, the effect also disappears. And last thing for his ultimate, the energy he gives with his ultimate is a flat amount and is unaffected by everything, which basically means it only scales off of max energy and doesn't scale off of energy regen for example. Moving on to the traces, we're going to be talking about the small traces and the major traces of course, so let's start with the small ones. He gains a total of 37% crit rate, 18% effect res, and 12% defense. The crit is obviously for his scalings on his kit, the effect res is good so he cannot take debuffs, and the defense is obviously for survivability, since he is a Harmony unit. For the major traces, we have very small ones, so I'll read through them quickly. His Trace 1 allows his skill to be cost free every 2 turns, kind of like how Imaginary Trailblazer works. Trace 2 gives him 25 energy at the start of every battle, and his Trace 3 makes his skill remove 1 debuff from the targeted ally, kind of like Gallagher for example. I kind of forgot to mention this, so I'll just put it here. You will be needing this material, and these are the overall materials. These might not change, but these do make sense, so I believe these will be untouched. Now, if you're a hardcore simp for Sunday like tons of people are, here's what his light cone will do. Every skill / ult on an ally gives 6 energy to Sunday and increases the target's damage by a percentage. This stacks up to 3 times, so you'll get 3 times the damage increase. For now, it's at 15%, so you would get a total of 45% damage bonus. Every 2 skills and or ultimates, you recover 1 skill point for the entire team, which is really nice since you will be using Sunday's skill as much as possible. The damage bonus is applied to both ally and summon, but this is limited to only Sunday. So Ting Yun for example can't buff any summon unit like Numbi or Thunderlord, she can only buff the ally itself. But the good news is that the energy he gains from his light cone, or whoever is using the light cone, can change depending on your energy regen, so 6 energy isn't exactly a concrete number you will be gaining. Now this does sound kind of broken, so I'm pretty sure they will put a fixed energy on this, but the leaks for now are saying this, so I will be saying this too. For the hardcore fans and the people that have way too much money, this is for you. These are his eidolons. For his E1, Sunday skill now gives an additional 20% all-type respen on top of all the other buffs he gives. This will last until the ally takes their next turn, and this all-type respen is comparable to Ron-Mei, but Ron-Mei obviously has a team-wide respen compared to him. For his E2, while the Beatified is on field, the Beatified and Sunday gain 20 flat speed. This can help out if Sunday or the Beatified are below the 134 speed point, effectively giving you a free speed boot. His E4 gives him 8 energy every turn he takes, and for the big one, E6, the talent's crit boost can now stack up to 3 times, and Sunday's ult now applies the talent effect to the ally targeted by his ult. If by some miracle your crit rate is over 100%, he converts 1% extra crit rate to 2% crit damage, and this can stack infinitely. I don't even know how you get over 100% crit rate in this game, but if you can do that, then Sunday's really good with his E6. He can fix that. So he's basically a unit that scales and acts like a Bronya or Sparkle, that gives crit rate like Fu Xuan but in single target, regens energy with ult like Woho, while also giving damage buffs, speed and respen to allies like Ron-Mei but single target. And not to mention, if you have his E6, he can convert your crit rate to crit damage, and he gives you crit damage for free in his traces. What can this man not do? I'm hoping he can save the meta. Hashtag bring hyper carries back, please. I'm super hyped about him, even though I don't like him that much, but I feel like he's cool and seems like a great unit that will for sure have a spot in the up and coming and hopefully current meta. But only time will tell, and his 5th version as well. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. Thank you for watching this Sunday kit overview. I'll be making a full guide around his 3rd or 4th version, so stay tuned to learn how you can build the perfect Sunday. A video similar to this for Fu Yue will come out soon, so expect that one as well. Anyways, see you later, peeps.